Hey friends, my name is Calyx and welcome back to my channel. I have some really good news. Although, if you're watching this video, you already know because it's obvious, but my hard drive is finally fixed after months of waiting. Like, when I left in August, I was only going to be on break for like a month and a half. And then when I tried to come back, like everything just anyway, it doesn't matter. I am also $145 in debt to the guy at PC Corner and, well, to my mom technically because she paid up front for the thing that I needed, but, I can't pay her back obviously, so we're trying to cover it through my passport program right now. I don't know if that's going to work, but we can certainly try. Either way, even though I hate it, my mom just might have to eat the cost, at least until I can get a job and pay for it. Right now I'm trying to sell my old laptop. This is my new laptop that I just got a few weeks ago. But yeah, right now I'm trying to sell my old laptop so I can get money, and that money is going directly into Yahtzee's Vet Fund because I need more money in there. Like, I need more money. Anyway, my hard drive is fixed. That means I can do my usual work, which is YouTube it so I can make YouTube videos that I want to make and I can like do my writing and stuff. I can work on my writing and all that. Although I don't even know if I'm gonna get back to my writing at this point because that just seems like something I would start up again in the new year because I'm actually so close to my Christmas break. Although I am probably like I think my Christmas break is in like a week. Like my Christmas break is supposed to start on um I think it's the 12th. That's the Friday. Either way, next Friday it's supposed to start, and then I'm picking my work back up, I think the second week of holidays, or my mom's going away on the 25th. She's gonna go visit my sister overnight for one night. Then I'm pretty sure she's gonna come back, pack another bag, and go back out for she's going somewhere for about a week, I think. So she's gonna be away for a while, so I'm gonna like pick my work back up then and whenever she gets back, I'm gonna use the rest of the time to spend the Christmas holidays with her, whatever days we have left. But I'm gonna just use the days when she's gonna be away to work on my writing and to work on my YouTube and stuff. So I'll probably be uploading a couple of videos then. And I can't do my Christmas video that I wanted to do, which is really disappointing because I was gonna have a huge wrap up thing. But unfortunately, I cannot do that because I've been offline for so long and I wasn't able to record videos for so long that now I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to do that. I would have had to start it like mid-November. But whatever. So this whole portion sucked, like not being able to be on YouTube for months at a time because I was gone for almost 4 months. Because August to December 10th, that's like 4 months. Yeah. Anyway, I was also seeing some memories on my Facebook. I was realizing how long my hair is, and even like I saw the memories popped up in September on my Facebook, and I was looking there, and even when I look at the memories in September, how much longer it's clear like how much longer it's clear how much longer my hair is compared to then. Like it's grown quite a bit since then. I mean, it's not like super long or anything, but it's gotten longer, is all I'm saying, which I'm really happy about. But this time because it's my choice, like I can have it any length I want. If I want a haircut, I just have to ask my mom to set up an appointment and I can get it cut to any length I want. But I'm really enjoying growing it out right now and feeling like I'm in control and it's nice because if I want it short, I can have it short. If I want it long, I can have it long. If I want to keep growing it out, I can keep growing it out, whatever I want. So, I have that control now that I didn't have before when I was younger. Um, anyway, so I got some Reddit stuff today. And it's mostly gonna be best of Reddit updates. I haven't decided if I'm going to do like another subreddit, but I also want to just let you know there are a couple of kind of like really deep ones in here that are kind of emotional and heavy. So if you guys want to skip the video or just skip the stories in general, you can definitely do that. And the first one's going to be one of those ones. So, um, and I haven't decided if I don't know if I'm gonna visit any other subreddits. This might just be a bunch of retro updates, best of retro updates posts because those are the ones I saved for today. Like whenever I want to do a video, I just go through and find posts to save, and then I'll just randomly find posts to save other times and make a video on it later. So yeah. Anyway, okay, so the title of this one is My Abuser Committed Suicide and Left a Letter and Video Message Behind. Now people are asking me for forgiveness, okay? Why? Obviously this isn't OOP. This is marked as ongoing, so there might be some more updates later, so um okay. My abuser committed suicide, blah blah blah. Originally posted r/am I the asshole. Um Trigger warnings, rape, drug overdose, suicide, abuse, harassment, love bombing. Okay. Mood spoiler, depressing. Okay. The original post was on October 21st, 2023, so a little over 2 years ago. Throw away because I don't want to expose my real identity. Trigger warnings, we already read those. I won't go into details, but I wanted to put the triggers anyway. Please proceed with caution. It happened 2003. My boyfriend at the time asked me to come over one night to hang out, but he was with his best friend this time. My boyfriend told me that his best friend was a virgin and how unfair it was that girls rejected him. I've never been able to listen to Tupac after that night. What? What does Tupac have to do with Okay. My boyfriend and his best friend were part of a big friend group that my sister and I were a part of. I reported what happened to the police and it became a big deal. Okay, so I guess I feel like she's skipping the right part and not talking about it because it just happened. So it all she says is it happened 2003, and blah, 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 and a bunch of other stuff. He and she also doesn't explain how Tupac factors into all this. She just says she wasn't able to listen to Tupac again after that night. So I don't know. I reported what happened to the police, and it became a big divider in the group until a friend of the best friend provided alibi from him from a birthday party that happened that same night. It was good enough to everyone ever, and everyone turned against me and wanted me to drop the charges, including my sister. 6 months later, the best friend overdosed, and I was blamed for what happened to him. I was ostracized by everyone, including my family. I moved away after the case was dropped shortly after the OD overdose. I woke up about 3 weeks ago to lots of texts and missed calls from unsaved numbers. I found out later that it was my mom and sister, and they now believe me because my abuser confessed to everything in details and called what he did a curse that haunted him his entire life. Haunted him. Him. He wanted me to know that God was on my side and punished him on every single path he took, starting with the death of his best friend. Good. And that he was tired now and couldn't take it anymore. Is that bad of me to say that it's good that he's being punished for everything he's done? Because, like, if you're going to do the most terrible things you can possibly do, like rape and murder and stuff, you definitely deserve serious consequences for that shit anyway. Uh, and that he was tired now and couldn't take it anymore. He asked for forgiveness and for me to visit his grave so at least his soul didn't continue to be haunted. I got copies of his letter and video sent to me even by strangers, not only to me but to my husband and children, none of which know my past. I don't know what to do now. My husband and children are traumatized and my family is bombarding me to forgive them. They want to meet my children and be a part of our lives, be a part of their lives. I don't even know if there was anything to forgive. I just want things back to normal before all this came out again. Would I be a bad person if I told everyone I don't want anything to do with them? Absolutely not. My mom is apparently sick and is scared she wouldn't have the chance to see me before something happened. All I know is that I could finally listen to Tupac again. Okay. It's pretty clear that Tupac plays a role in the rape and stuff. I'm just not sure exactly which, but whatever. OP gives as much information as they want to give, and I'm not gonna pressure them, to do. Oh, I'm not gonna. I don't know. It is what it is. So go away. Okay. Additional comments from OOP. OP says, "It happened so long ago, and I've made a lot of effort to forget as much as I can, and I thought I succeeded, but I remember more than I want to admit. Sometimes I don't blame those who didn't believe me. It at least helped me move on and rid myself from resentment and understand why they didn't believe me. The alibi was somehow solid. A picture of the best friend and the birthday girl was sent on Messenger and some local chat forums, and the girl was wearing that same outfit from her party. She lived in a nearby town. I don't know if the police ever investigated that photo or alibi. They kind of dropped the charges when the best friend died. There were two abusers, my then boyfriend and his best friend. His best friend died of overdose 20 years ago. My boyfriend committed suicide about 3 to 4 weeks ago. Okay, wow. And then someone asks, "How did they get in touch with your husband and kids?" Via social media. My children are not even talking to me, especially my daughter. What the fuck? Everyone want so everyone didn't believe you and now everyone wants you to forgive this guy who abused you and raped you and all kinds of stuff. Like, why is that? Why? Why are you the one who has to forgive them? Why are you the one who has to forgive in this? You're the one who has to do it. He is no. And who cares about his fucking soul? I don't care about his soul. I whatever. His soul can suffer forever for all I care. That might be terrible for me to say. Like, I've definitely done some shit too. I never raped or murdered anyone or anything like that because that's, a lot. I mean, the only time I would ever murder someone is in self-defense. Like, I would never even dream of doing that. Like, I would never do that. And I have forgiven my dad, but that doesn't mean that other people have to forgive their abusers as well. And also, my dad didn't do the stuff that's in this story. Well, he did abuse me, and there was a little bit of stuff that. Anyway, um, just because I forgave him, just because I forgave my abuser doesn't mean that other people should forgive their abusers. No one is entitled to forgiveness, by the way. Like, no one is entitled to forgiveness. I mean, I've done stuff that I haven't been forgiven for. At least I don't think so. And I'm like I just move on with my life. Like I mean, I've done what I can by apologizing, and if they don't want to forgive me, then I'm not entitled to their forgiveness, and I recognize that. I recognize that I've hurt people, that I've done things wrong, and I recognize that no one is entitled to forgiveness no matter what they've done. Like, you don't you don't deserve my forgive you are not entitled to my forgiveness, I'm not entitled to your forgiveness. So, yeah, the best thing to do is just move on with your life and tell your family you don't want anything to do with them anymore because they didn't believe you in the first place. And like you said, you don't think the police ever investigated this alibi, which definitely should have been a move because you can easily post a picture with a previously worn outfit. I mean, I rotate between like the same five outfits from day to day. So trust me when I say it's so easy to just put on the outfit from the party and take a picture like that. Like, that does not prove anything. And the police who believed that that proved anything and were like, well, guess we'll drop the investigation now, they're idiots. Ugh. I mean, I've never had bad experiences with cops, but they definitely do exist and are out there, and definitely cops have lapses in judgment, and cops can definitely mess up big time, like with George Floyd, or at other times, like, there are plenty of stories out there about how police have done wrong, and this is unfortunately one of those times when they chose to believe an alibi that they never investigated over OPs. I wonder if not that OP needed to do this, and I totally understand why OP wouldn't want to do this given the circumstances, but they have those rape kits now where they can swab for like the semen or whatever and also test for STDs and stuff like that. Like, I wonder if OP ever did one of those because that could prove a lot. I don't know, if I ever got raped, I would definitely go for the rape kit and be like to provide evidence that this guy did this to me. Like, I would want that, regardless of who it was or what happened. Like, I would still want that to at least get some evidence. I think that's what they do, right? They swipe the inside of your vag for like semen and whatnot. I think that's what they're looking for. I'm not like an expert on rape kits or anything. I'm just saying it's an option and it's out there. Um, and then someone else said, if the guy had any money, you could sue his estate for his crime. Remember this, you owe your abuser nothing, and he was not a victim. Exactly, you owe your abuser nothing. You owe his family nothing. You owe nothing to the people who were against you. Nothing. Live your life well and surround yourself with the good, supportive people you have now. And then OP replies, I don't think I can sue because the statute of limitation has expired. Is it expired? Anyway, in the video, he makes a mention of leaving me money. I don't know if this is considered a valid will. He has a wife and 4 children. I would not, even if he did leave that money, I would not keep a penny of that money. I would give it either to his family or, I don't know, give it to some charity. Ooh, give it to an anti-rape charity. Like, give it to someone who's trying to stop rape or something. That'd be hilarious. That would be exactly what he deserves. That'd be perfect. Like, if he really wants to apologize and feels bad about what he's done, then he'll be okay with you giving that money to the anti-rape people. I don't even are there charities that do that? Hang on. Um Okay, they do exist. Oh, Ontario Coalition of Rape Crisis Centers. It's a thing. Okay. Wow. Yep. And the Rape Foundation, Survivors Trust, Rape and Sexual Abuse Survivors UK. So pretty much no matter where you go, there's some like, ooh, Take Back the Night, End Sexual and Domestic Violence, Women's Support Network of York Legion. There's a lot of them. So yeah, pretty much anywhere you go, you can find a there are plenty of like anti-rape foundations out there. So just give the money to one of them. Like if he did in fact leave you money, don't keep it. That's what I would do. I mean, you could totally do that, but I wouldn't want to spend I would not spend that money. That's just I would feel so gross doing that. No matter how much he left me. I don't care if he left me enough money to live comfortably for my entire life. Like if he left me several $1,000,000, for example. No. I wouldn't want to touch a penny of that. And imagine how much good the anti-rape charities could do with like $4,000,000. I mean, I'm just saying we don't know if it's even a valid will, and I doubt it also. I don't know. Like, I don't know what is I think it has to be like legally binding, like written and signed and everything. Like, okay. Um, and then someone else and then a reply to that, a lot of places massively increased their statute of limitations for civil lawsuits for sexual assault and rape as a result of Catholic Church's pedo priest scandal. People have been able to sue decades afterwards. Worth a Google search anyways. Even if you don't want to do it, you can use the threat as leverage against people who are now harassing you, legally coercing them into apologizing and leaving you alone. Okay, I did not know that was a thing. But, also, the statute of limitations, I think it never expires here with when it comes to sexual abuse, like sexual, rape and stuff. I think it just doesn't expire here where I live. I live in Ontario and it doesn't expire. Um, OOP, I just Googled the statute of limitations for rape and it is 10 years here. I don't know about suing. It's not a thing in my country, but I will try. I can always donate whatever I get to women's shelters because they help me a lot and I'm forever grateful to the people I met there. Many of them are still my friends. There you go. Now, I feel like suing over the rapist's abuse would be a different story. I would definitely give a little of that money to charity, but I mean, I'm living with my mom right now. I would want to move out and get an apartment and do some other stuff. Like there's definitely stuff I would want to do. Like I mean, there's stuff I want to buy for when I move into my apartment. There's stuff I'd like to get, like a new bed frame, because mine's literally falling apart. Literally. Like I can't I'm not going to go into specifics right now, but just know that I have a specially cut board in there from Canadian Tire because the other boards kept falling down, the boards that are supposed to be attached to that. I think I'm gonna get one of those really good ones that has like drawers under it and stuff. That those look really cool. I'm gonna get one of those. But either way, I'm gonna try and get a new bed frame. Anyway, um, And then someone else says, your mom was sick before the rapist's suicide. She didn't reach out. Had the rapist not left a video confessing his sins, your mom would not have reached out. I think you can let her go without any guilt. Same with your other relatives. I hope your husband is being supportive because this is an emotional landmine for you right now. Have a talk with some friends or a professional to work out your feelings. Um, I'm sorry this happened to you, OP, but you have been surviving just fine to date. Don't go back. OP says, yes, I didn't know she was sick, but it was before his suicide. And then someone else says, after looking at your comments about your husband and daughter's reactions, I highly recommend family therapy. You guys need to be given an opportunity to process the fallout as a unit. And then OP says, neither of my children are open to family therapy, but I hope they're at least willing to do individual therapy to begin with. I don't want them to bear the shame. I've done enough of that, and I don't want them to experience what I did. Okay, and then the first update is March 22nd, 2024. I don't know if this is the only update. Anyway, it's 5 months later. I don't know if you remember me. It has been a while and I forgot about my account here. I feel nothing but despair. My mom is very sick. I decided that I didn't want to meet her or any of my family, and yet one Sunday morning, they were at my door insisting to go inside, insisting to see me before she left this world. She cried because I looked old, not her beautiful girl anymore. Did she expect to meet 20-year-old me? I didn't utter a word, and I pushed my sister away when she cried and tried to hug me. They wanted to see my children, but I refused. My children were terrified. Now they have been trying everything to make me talk to them. I've tried to report them to the police, but they yet again proved themselves to be useless. Jeez. Mm. My children aren't feeling well. We are in therapy, especially my son who doesn't even want to look at me even now. My daughter is very compassionate, but I know that she is as confused as broken, but she has always been the kind that tried to make others feel better. My husband and I are separated. We started having issues. He was angry all the time. He couldn't look at me. He thought that I should have told him when we met, but I didn't, and now I felt helpless. Really? He's mad at you because someone raped you and you didn't want to talk about it? If you don't want to talk about it, that's your business. And yeah, there was this whole thing of, oh, you should share everything with each other when you're in a relationship. I disagree. You don't have to talk about your traumatic past if you don't want to. And just feeling that, just whatever. Ugh. Anyway, doesn't matter. He couldn't even touch me anymore. Do you feel repulsed by me? Do I remind you of what happened every time I've touched you? He was going mad, so he said that he didn't want to be with me anymore. I begged him to stay not only because I love him, but because our children, especially our son, is hurting and we need to help him. But he said that separation is better, so our son can get a time off from being with me, I suppose, when he lives with his dad. My rapist's wife is suing me for the damage that her husband left me. They have 4 children who are all traumatized by what happened. They still live in my hometown and everyone knows them. Seeing what happened to my children, I feel nothing but sorrow for his children too. None of them asked to be born. Yeah, okay. But fuck this woman. Fuck this woman. Your husband raped a girl and now you're suing the victim, the rape victim. Oh my God. Okay, the woman who provided, but these poor kids. That does suck, for all the children involved. Cause oh my god, what a horrible time. And yeah, kids don't ask to be born. And I really hate parents who use, "Oh, I raised you for 18 years," as an excuse as to why we should do whatever they say. I never asked to be born. I didn't ask you to change my diapers and burp me and feed me and shit like that, and, feed me formula or whatever. And by the way, when I was a baby, when me and my sister were babies, my sister was breastfed and I drank formula because I was having trouble with the breast milk. And now I think I know why. Sensory issues. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The woman who provided the alibi was outed. Thank God. At least there's fucking that. I'm guessing the police still didn't do anything because they were like, well, this was 20 years ago. We don't care. I mean, they're not doing anything about her family harassing her right now. So, fuck. I heard that she's lost her job and people are harassing her. Ugh. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't agree with people harassing her. I don't think we should be harassing anybody. So I don't wanna say she deserves it because really, I think I don't know, like, what kind of harassment? Like, physical or, like, people just saying, "You fucked up, and you're a bad person for doing this," because she deserves to be told that. She deserves to hear it. I don't know. Even with my past, these past months have been the hardest on me. I cry myself to sleep every night. I have lost everything I care about. I wish he never admitted to anything. He should have let the past be. This is getting worse and worse. Anyway, but um, about the whole thing. But about the family harassing you thing and just showing up at your house, you should move. Like, the police aren't doing shit, obviously. So I think the solution is to move. Get a new place, get a new address, move you and the kids. Okay. And then someone says, and then we're going into some comments, relevant comments. Holy shit balls, went through a few of your comments. I don't get the Tupac thing, but please please tell me they didn't send the video of the actual crime to your husband and kids. You might not be able to sue for what happened in the past, but you can definitely sue for that. Your former family are the cunty McCuntersons from Cuntstown. They weren't happy with destroying your life once, so they had to do it again. And then OOP says, his suicide video, yes. My children received it. What the fuck? Oh my god. And then and then the response, I'm not a lawyer, but that has to be a crime. It's mental and emotional cruelty at least, assuming your kids are minors, since this happened in 2003, and I assume you didn't start having kids right after. There could be a whole host of charges you can file against everyone involved. Sheesh. Against everyone involved, all the way back to the alibi asshole who must have at least suspected the truth. Gather every shred of information and find the meanest lawyer you can, and carpet bomb the rest of them with lawsuits and restraining orders. I don't think I need to say this, but don't give up. And then OP says, yes, they're both minors. I've reported everything. Nothing will happen because nothing ever does. At least there's a paper trail. What the fuck? Okay, OOP on getting her husband in therapy. OOP says, I will. He is in therapy. My ex mother in law told me that he just needs time because he feels helpless. I told her that I wasn't taking him back. She said she didn't blame me. My children are in therapy too, and they're making progress, but it takes time. All I care now is that their childhood doesn't get ruined. I feel so helpless that I couldn't protect them from this. This is crazy. And yeah, that's a super sad ending. Like, nothing. Oh my God. I don't get this. Like, what? Everyone's mad at her, even though she's the victim here. I, whatever. And the husband's like, oh, you should have told me. Shut up. I don't know. I'm just mad and sad after that. We're gonna have to go to one of the lighter ones because I need that right now. All right. Anyway. It's been well over a year since she last updated, so I don't know if we'll see another update. Hopefully, we will. I mean, there have been stories that had updates like years later, so I hopefully we see another update on this, and hopefully it's good news because the fucking police aren't doing anything here. So, whatever. Screw that. So annoying. Nobody's doing anything. And even she's suing for what she for the emotional damage that the tape caused and she can't even whatever. Okay, anyway, this post just makes me depressed, man. The abuser has managed to destroy her life once again, even after his death. Ugh. I'm not sure I understand what OP's husband and family are mad at her about. The kids may be traumatized from being exposed to the video and the following harassment from their mother's side of the family. I imagine they're angry at the situation rather than at her and don't know how to interact with her because they can't reconcile the image of their mom with the victim of a horrendous crime. But this is just me speculating, mind you. As for the husband, from what OOP said, he sounds like he's panicking. He's making it about himself, even if unintentionally. Unintentionally is spelled wrong. and is worried he may be an abuser by proxy because what if she only said yes to him because she was abused before or something? It's a flawed logic to say the least, and while I get the pain that probably came with believing his spouse didn't trust him enough to tell him about the crime, he's putting his feelings above those of the woman that's been re-victimized and above the needs of his children. The man implies their son doesn't want to be around his mother, and instead of addressing and trying to fix that, his response is, yeah, me neither. OOP is right when she says that even if he sees the light, she doesn't want it back. If their house caught fire, he would be running around like a chicken with its head cut off instead of getting the kids and any hypothetical pets out. Okay, well, whatever. Still, the husband is making some very stupid decisions here. The kids are a lot more understandable because like, they obviously can't deal with this. I mean, the husband can't deal with it either, but, like, they're minors. The husband is a fully grown adult and should be able to find a way to manage this without turning her into the bad guy and making her feel shitty. Ugh, whatever. Like, and yeah, like the commenter said, he's putting his feelings above those of the woman that's been re-victimized and above the needs of his children. Yeah, well, and in the comment, it says, well, I get the pain that probably came with believing his spouse didn't trust him enough to tell him about the crime. Well, maybe she just didn't want to talk about it. Like, maybe she didn't want to revisit that part of her life because it's too painful no matter what with whoever. Like, maybe whoever she ended up with, she wouldn't have talked about it, even if she trusted them completely with her whole heart. There's stuff I don't want to talk about, even with the people I trust the most in this world. And yes, I have trust issues, but that's not what this is about. It isn't unusual for family and friends of trauma victims to also be traumatized. Not that the pain is equivalent, but anybody who is capable of empathy hurts when people they care about hurt. Less charitably, some men have a tendency to treat their partner's rape with the same possessive anger as when someone scuffs their nice shoes. They want to hurt the person who lowered the value of their property. Many gild this possessive anger in a misogynistic white knight narrative. I know I have. Yeah, the ex-husband is handling this bomb in about the worst way possible. In some sense, I guess it's good since this is how he would have reacted to any major sudden emergency. Anyone in OOP's life sucks. Everyone in OOP's life sucks. Selfish until the end, talked about how God was on her side and how he needed her to visit his grave so he's at peace. Absolutely disgusting. I'm glad everyone who was involved life whose involved lives fell apart too, but for them to drag the victim down with them and their selfishness is horrible. Okay. Sheesh. Bloody, bloody, blah. I wanted to know how the rapist's wife feels she has a case. OP had nothing to do with him after she moved, and everything he did was his own choice. And then someone says the rapist left her $250,000. Where does it say that? I think his wife is suing to get that money back. I hope she has a lawyer and lives in a place where she can countersue his estate for all the emotional trauma he put her through. If I had the horror of finding out my husband was a rapist or facilitated rape, the last thing I do is go after his victim. That really depends on what else is going on. Imagine him being the breadwinner and that being all their money. He left four kids, probably all minors. They're victims too. Different kind, of course, but still. Maybe the wife has too. Maybe she's just an asshole and doesn't know how to handle her complicated emotions about this. Too less info to tell. Okay. Too little info to tell, I think they meant. Okay, these people have really interesting flares. I have to actually go and look for these videos. Okay, I don't know. That really depends on what else is going on. Imagine him being the breadwinner and that being all their money. Whatever, that's not OP's problem. The rapist was the one who made the decision to rape her and then to commit suicide and leave the family like that. And also to send the suicide like video to their children. So like what given all that, it's not OP's problem to be like, oh, well, I feel bad for the rapist's family and kids, so I should just let them keep the money and be happy with it. That's not, doesn't matter. It's not her. She's, no, she's not entitled to that. The family is not entitled to that money after everything their husband did. After everything her husband did. Everything that's been done in this story by the rapist is terrible. And OOP owes the victim, and OOP owes the wife and family nothing in this instance. And I would not care if it was all their income, or I wouldn't care about anything because if I was in this situation, I've been raped and I would fight for exactly what I deserve. $250,000 is a hell of a lot of money, and I could get out of this whole place and like, yeah, I'm not sure if I would do that. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I guess what I'm saying is I would definitely not care about the rapist's family. Like, I don't care if he has a wife and kids. That's not my problem. And I was still a victim and I still deserve it. Anyway, imagine him being the breadwinner, blah, blah, blah. No one involved in this circus knows how to handle their emotions. I don't understand a single person in this mess. OP's husband is a disappointment. Her kids have no compassion, just shame for whatever reason. Her old family is a bunch of disrespectful assholes. Poor woman is bearing everything alone when she's surrounded by people. And who sends a suicide letter to kids? The kind of guy who rapes his girlfriend with his best friend. Yeah, that's just so sad. One sec. Alright, moving on to something later. Just alright, give me a sec, I'm just my nose. Okay, anyway, um, moving on to something a lot lighter, hopefully. Um, I'm a 27 male, and my 25-year-old girlfriend's brother, who is 29 male, drove my car without my permission, and I have proof that he did. I'm not the OP. OP is this one. Okay. Original post October 27th, 2015. I've lived with my girlfriend for a few years and we've been a great match. Her only weakness is that she will give in to her family's request if they pressure her enough. I restored a car by myself in my early 20s. It's customized to my liking and took me years to build from the ground up. I'm not a huge dick about it as I drive anyone around it and around in it and don't get bent out of shape when people touch it. My only rule, which my girlfriend knows, is that I do not like anyone else driving my car. Well, it also makes sense because I'm sure others aren't on the insurance. So if you get into an accident and someone else was driving, the freaking insurance won't cover it. So that's a thing. Anyway, her brother took a liking to the car immediately after he met me and has bothered me to let him drive it often. Even her whole family jumps in and says I should let him take it for a spin. Her mom even kept going and said, "What's the harm in just letting him drive it?" I've always laughed it off because they all know I don't lend it out to anyone. I was out of town for the weekend on business and things went on as usual. I flew back into town and went about life. This morning I noticed my car was posted in a group that spots vehicles in my city. I saw what I'm convinced is my girlfriend's brother's face through the glass in a parking lot. I know for a fact it is my car, and sometimes these people hold on to photos before posting them, but I have very short hair, and the man in the picture has like 2 inches of hair like my girlfriend's brother. Should I confront them both? I want to do this without causing too much of a fuss because it's not a big deal to everyone. I just don't like people I am not very close with driving my cars. Well, too bad. They don't get to decide for you. This is your rule. It's your car. So they don't get to decide that. And if it's not a big deal to them, well, too bad. It's a big deal to you and it's your property. Get to therefore you get to choose. And someone says that's relevant comments. That's called theft. He's not on your insurance. I'd be making a big fuss. He's 29, not 16. That's screwed up in a lot of ways. And OOP says that's my way of thinking. I'm pretty upset over the clear breach of boundaries along with the immaturity. I'm just thinking of the best way to approach the situation because I tend to get a bit extra when I lose my temper. And then someone else says, I would confront your girlfriend first. Whoops. I would confront your girlfriend first. I saw a picture of your brother driving my car on this group. You know I don't like people driving my car, and I feel hurt that you would go behind my back to allow him to drive it. It doesn't matter if it's not a big deal to you. You should respect the boundaries I set in place with my belongings. I cannot trust you with this car, and therefore you will no longer have access to the keys. There you go. Do exactly that. Take deep breaths. You know you might get out of control, so just stick to whatever script you decide. If you feel if you feel yourself getting mad, just calmly tell her that you need some time to think. You getting mad will only make her more defensive. Stick to how hurt and disrespected you feel. And then OP says, I've calmed down quite a bit to think rationally about this. I know that I'm just going to calmly confront her and him about this. I plan to speak with her first and him face to face after with the photo on hand. I'm just going to tell them both that I'm very disappointed and that this was a huge breach of trust. In the future, when they make reference to driving my car, I'll be as harsh and blunt as possible about not letting any of them drive it. And maybe even consider breaking up with her if this is the thing that she's obviously going to do. And I don't know, if she gets defensive about it, I'm just saying you might want to dump her. I don't want to jump straight to dump her just because she let her brother drive the car, but even though that's pretty messed up and disrespectful, like she definitely shouldn't have done that. But if she gets defensive about it and she's not listening to your boundary regarding your property, because let's be clear, this is your property and you are the one who gets to decide what happens with it. So, yeah, it's a 19 and then someone says, "Well, what kind of car is it?" Yeah, I wanna know too. And then OOP says, "It's a 1970s Nissan Z." Hang on. Let's just 1970s Nissan Z. Alright, let's see. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh. Alright. Yeah. So it's not like those super old cars with the big wheels and boxes and stuff, but it is pretty recognizable and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool and it's pretty recognizable too. Like you'd easily be able to tell if someone was driving a Nissan Z around, especially if you look close enough. And also I think OP like knows what color his car is and stuff and he can tell which car is his. Like, if it was just a Toyota or something, it'd be a lot harder to tell I see Toyotas and all kinds of other cars around. I mean, we don't have a Toyota right now. We had a Toyota for our first two cars, but the one that my mom most recently bought is new. Like, new, new. Not new to us, not new used. Actually, literally new. She bought it, like, last year sometime or maybe earlier this year. Okay, I can't remember the exact date. Point is, she bought a car and it was a new car. And they have Toyotas and stuff like that around like all the time. So it'd be pretty hard to tell if it was your car, even if it was the same color and stuff. But still, but this is a pretty recognizable car and easy to recognize in today's world with all the modern cars that all kind of look the same. And I don't know, neat. Whatever. I kind of want an older looking car if I was gonna get a car, so maybe I'd get something like that also. Anyway, doesn't matter. The next day, there's an update, October 28th, 2015. I took the advice given and contacted the guy who posted the picture for details. The information he provided proved this picture was taken when I was away from town and a couple minutes from my house outside of a grocery store. So I printed the picture and information to take home with me. When I got in, I went straight to my girlfriend and told her I'd like to speak to her about something. I put the picture on the table with the conversation I had with the guy who posted it. It took a second to register with her at first, but then she just asked, "Is that my brother?" I told her that I saw this posted in the spotty group and asked when her brother had access to my car. She said she had him over because she was making dinner for her parents and brother the day after I left. We walked through the entire day, and long story short, she went to take a nap and asked her brother to pick up some stuff from the store. She went in the bathroom and he left, then came back with the stuff. Wait, okay. Ugh. So she didn't even know that he took the car, maybe? Did she even know that he took the car? Because that changes things. Alright, by this time I was on the edge of exploding. It's obvious that her brother took my car to the store for a joyride. At the time, I was angry at them both, to be honest. I didn't know if I wanted to believe her story or just condemn them both. I told her I needed to cool off a bit and went outside. She seemed a mix of upset and confused. When I got back inside, she was on the phone with her brother in the other room. I could hear her yelling, "Don't fucking lie." So I walked in and told her to make him come over and I'd like to speak to him. I cooled off a bit more by the time he pulled up. I asked him to take a seat and showed him the pictures and conversation. I was about to ask him to explain before my girlfriend jumped in and asked, "Did you take his car to the store when I asked you to pick some stuff up the other day?" He didn't say anything, so I started speaking. I told him that he took the car without my permission after I made it abundantly clear that no one else should drive it. This is not only disrespectful to me, but it is also dangerous from an insurance standpoint and illegal. He just sat there and said nothing. I told both him and my girlfriend that I will leave it alone this time, but if something like this ever happens again, I'll call the cops. We sat in silence for a while until I told him it's time to go. He tried to apologize, but I stopped him and said he should just learn from this and make better decisions. I also reminded him of my promise to call the cops next time and that he is not allowed near my car anymore. He left, and then I turned to my girlfriend and told her that my trust has been breached. I love her and will give her the benefit of the doubt on this, but to take it as a lesson on being firm with her family, that the whole oh but their family or what's the harm shit is not tolerated anymore. She agreed and apologized for the whole thing. I now keep my keys locked away in a place only I know. My girlfriend called her mother and started explaining the whole thing. I cracked a beer and rested easy. All is well at the moment, but I'll keep in mind that this happened once. It's definitely going to be different around her family, but I think that's a good thing. Thanks, Reddit. Relevant comments. Well done, sir. You kept your cool, told off the brother, and kept good relations with girlfriend and parents. Have another beer. And then OP says, I'm glad that I'll still be okay, that I'll still be on okay terms with her family. From what I heard, her mom and dad are pretty shocked that their son did that. I'll leave getting angry and yelling to them now. Good, because I thought the girlfriend was going to be like totally defensive about this. I thought she was aware of this and she was like, oh, but it's okay. He's just going to the store, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway. Someone else says, what your girlfriend did jumping in is only suspicious because we've all seen movies or TV shows where that happened, like when Joey saves Chandler from revealing too much to Phoebe. Oh, reference to one of my favorite shows. Your girlfriend probably did it because she, in fact, is genuinely angry and wanted to yell at her brother so you didn't have to. She felt bad that her family did this to you and felt responsible, so she wanted to fix it for you. And then OP says, that's what I believe happened. I know she was upset and very embarrassed by the entire thing based on how her voice sounded. She probably didn't want to hear him try to lie his way out of it for all I know. And then someone says, and then another response, having been the girlfriend just last week in a similar situation, I called my brother immediately and flipped on him. I was mad for my boyfriend and embarrassed for myself. Totally understandable if she did that. And when told he is an asshole, why would someone say that? Maybe I am an asshole and you're entitled to your opinion of me. No disputing that. I am upset that the brother of my girlfriend took one of my prized possessions for a drive when it's clear to everyone that I do not want anyone else driving it. I might be overreacting by hiding my keys, but I don't trust leaving them out in the open at the moment. Didn't work out the last time. As for calling the cops, like I said above, I told him if something like this happens again, I'd be calling the cops. Would you like someone borrowing something precious of yours again after you told them not to the first time you caught them? Okay. Yeah. I don't understand why anyone would be saying OP is an asshole in this situation. People are telling him he's an asshole. Like, I don't understand where that's coming from. I I don't understand where that's coming from. It's crazy. Like, why? No, he's not an asshole. This is his property, and he gets to set boundaries. And like he said, if the brother crashes the car, insurance is not going to cover that. And it's also illegal to be doing that. Anyway, edit. As per previous comments, I'm currently gathering parts for a kill switch, and nobody knows where my keys are hidden but me. Edit 2. After a bit of thinking and reading comments below, I realized that I left things a bit unfinished with my girlfriend and sat her down. I apologized to her if I made her feel like any of this was her fault, and assured her it wasn't because in truth, it really isn't. In the heat of the moment, my mind was clouded. She was relieved that I wasn't mad at her and told me how embarrassed she was about the entire situation. We talked a bit more, and I reassured her she couldn't have known he'd do that and did nothing wrong. She knows where I keep my car keys, and we're all good. Her brother did call and apologize to me again. I appreciated him reaching out and told him as long as it's not repeated, we'll all try to move on. I've seen that people find it odd or childish how protective of my car I am in the comments below. They might be right now, and I overreacted a bit. No, absolutely not. I'll admit that. This car holds a fair bit of sentimental attachment to me, and I've sunk quite a bit of hours into it. It's a passion of mine, so I've gotten very protective of it over time. Again, thank you, Reddit. Pretty low drama outcome, all in all. Yeah, but I like to read the clearly real stuff every now and again. Man, alright. And all credit to OOP for it. Most 1970s Nissan Zs aren't that valuable financially, but it's still his property and he put a lot of love into it. Hopefully, the girlfriend's brother got the message very clearly. They run around $28,000. I know that's not big in the car market, but for Joe and Jane average, that's a lot of money for a weekend fun car. Even having a weekend fun car is a lot of money, regardless of how much the car actually costs. What with insurance and we go for a vehicle that isn't used regularly. Fair play to OP. I'd love to drive one of those with the owner's explicit permission, obviously. Collector car insurance is usually very cheap comparatively. I doubt he pays more than $500 a year, and that's on the high end. Same with registration. It is much more difficult if you're in California, though. Okay. Um, let's find another story to read. Hmm. Uh, do do do. Oh. Okay. So we've got the title of this one. I love rats. So this is a rat story, and the title is this a pet rat? This is ongoing. It's marked as ongoing. Okay, whatever. Not the original poster, obviously. And then this was originally posted in r/rats. September 2nd, 2025. Aw. Mood spoiler, rat is safe, still some questions. Okay, original post September 2nd, 2025. Reposting because I forgot a picture. This rat is chilling outside where I feed cats, but I've never seen a rat here before, and he let me pet him. Is this someone's lost pet or just a friendly wild rat? Do wild rats come in this color? If this breaks community rules, feel free to take it down, but if he's a pet, I want to help him if I can. Location is South Texas, if that helps. And they got all cute little rat pictures. Okay, so he's mostly white and then he's got a little like brown or maybe gray around his face. So cute. Oh my god. And then someone and the top comments are that is a domestic baby. Capture them for their own safety. Certainly a pet rat. Yup, way too friendly. Might be shy. Take it slow. And then OOP comments 1 hour later. Okay, y'all, I get it. I saved the baby. I'll make flyers to post around the apartment complex to see if someone is missing him. Definitely a boy. And for now, he's in a cat carrier with a dish of water, and I'm looking into what kind of food to give him. I have kitten and dog food handy. Thank you for the quick replies. Rat Boy says thank you too. Aw, what a sweetheart. Oh my god, I love rats. You guys know I had rats in, I think 2021. I still have like the videos up, the little shorts and stuff. I made a couple of short little videos with them in it, which are really cute and I love them. And I might get rats again if I can figure out how to do it safely and also with my allergies. Honestly, there's a few factors, especially now that I have a snake and I don't want them smelling each other and getting stressed, so it would be hard to do, even if I could resolve my allergies, which I already have an allergist because, when I started having symptoms and came and started having this like when I started having my whole nasal situation, I was going to the allergist a lot trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Anyway, um and then there was an update post around the time of the last comment. He is safe, y'all. He loves blueberries and broccoli. Oh, that's what I had on hand to feed him. I've nicknamed him Rat Boy, and he's the sweetest guy, but I've never owned a rat. What do I do for now while I look for his owner? I'll make posters and put them around the complex here to see if someone hopefully wants him back. If nobody responds in a week, I'll look into rehoming him through a local rat rescue group. Will keeping him in a cat carrier be okay? Can I give him dog/cat food or do I need to buy something specific? Anything I should know about pet rats that I wouldn't think to ask. Thanks in advance for any help you can offer. And then there's a little image of the ratty rat eating some broccoli. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. He's adorable. Hopefully, I'll remember to put the pictures in there because this is actually really cute. Okay, commenter, if someone does say they lost him, please make sure they're legit. I've seen so many people claim to be buying a rat mouse as a pet just to feed it to a snake. That's why they ask for rehoming fees and stuff, in case they have some sinister purpose for, getting the quote unquote pet. Because some people do that. Some people do that. There are bad people in this world who will try and just take or get free animals from Craigslist to feed to their snakes. Like rats or mice or hamsters or literally anything. Anything they can find, like anything small that they can find to do that. Baby bunnies, all kinds of stuff. Full grown bunnies if they have a big enough snake, like a Burmese python or something. Anyway, OOP says, "I will ask for a picture to prove it was their rat. Can't have this guy getting eaten. He's too friendly." I do. I know they're like frozen thawed, but I do still feel a little bit guilty about feeding like these little baby rats to my snake. They never got to have a full life, and that's a little disappointing, especially given how much I loved rats in the past. But it's the circle of life, and he needs to eat, and I'm not willing to deprive him of food just because I love rats and mice also. And then there's an update 2 days later, September 4th, 2025. Rat Boy is doing great in a slightly better enclosure. It's not sealed at the top. I keep a cover on it that has airflow on all sides, along with regularly opening it, with aspen chip bedding and an actual water dispenser. I don't have rat food, so I've been giving him broccoli, blueberries, Ritz crackers with the salt scraped off, sunflower seeds, dry pasta, cheese, and egg. He does not like the broccoli very much, but to be fair, I don't like raw broccoli either, lol. He also tried naan bread and did not like that. This is still meant to be a temporary setup with him going to a new home in a week or two, whether the owner contacts me or if I bring him to a rescue. Enjoy the pictures of his precious face and let me know if y'all have any tips on what I can do better. Oh, getting a little water from his water bottle. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, and there he is trying some food. He's eating an egg, like a fully boiled egg. Oh, aw, that's sweet. He's got like pasta and an egg and some broccoli in there. And then some of OOP's comments are, if you don't already have something like this, he needs something to hide in and sleep in. A small box, a small carton, even a pile of rags are all good. I sometimes give my rats a cleaned out cardboard milk carton that I cut the top of. Rats can get very stressed if they feel like they don't have a safe space to hide in. You've already done so much for him. He's so lucky you found him. You saved his life. And then OP replies, he accepted my offering with much gratitude. Thanks for the suggestion, and to everyone else who said a hiding place too. And there's a picture of him sleeping in his little box. Wait. Oh, there's like a little tissue box with the top torn off, and he's sleeping in it, looking very, very cute and sweet. Aw, and the commenter said, he's so beautiful. Thank you for everything you really do for him. Unless the owner manifests this, wouldn't you want to keep it with you? And then OP says, I couldn't afford a proper cage or a friend for him. That wouldn't be fair to him for me to keep him like this long term. My dog also wants to eat him, lol. Okay, yeah. Also, the vet bills are very expensive. Believe this from someone who spent, I think, $400 or $500 just on a couple of visits and to get my little mocha treated for his allergies. He was just scratching and leaving a lot of like bloody patches and scabs and stuff. So I took him to the vet, and the allergy medication was expensive. The vet visit was expensive, all that kind of stuff. But I got him treated. He was a lot better. Anyway, and then the commenter said, I think Rat Boy might be Rat Lady because I'm not seeing any massive balls. And then OOP says, you sure? And there's an image of, oh, you've got his balls. Okay. Commenter LMAO. Okay, fair. I couldn't see them from the other angles. I stand corrected. And OP says, haha, to be fair, they were on the smaller side, and I didn't post any good pics to see. Commenter, how did you nab him? Just pick him up, or did you lure him into the carrier with food? It warms my heart to see you rescued him. And you feed stray cats too. That's so wonderful. I would want to make those stray cats my pet cats. OP says, I just picked him up. I saw he wasn't afraid of me, so I reached out and touched him, and he wasn't scared or aggressive, so then I pet him and picked him up once I was sure he wasn't feeling bitey. He had started a pile of cat food in the corner of my porch, taken from the cat feeder on the other side, for himself, which is hilarious. If he stayed there any longer, he's become cat food too. Frankly, I'm shocked he made it so long. There's like 7 or 8 cats that frequent this area. He got very lucky. Rat Boy should buy a lottery ticket. That's so cute. Aw. And then someone in the comments says, once and only once, my rat, my sweet Ollie, accidentally bit slash nibbled my finger when I was giving him some food. I jumped back, and when I did, he rushed to grab my finger with his little tiny rat hands and gently licked it all over. He's been gone for years, but I miss him every single day. Best person ever. Edit to say Ollie looked just like Rat Boy. I got him for $5. He was the only one left at the pet store. He would freeze in pure delight when you touched him because he really, really, really wanted you to pet his belly and ears. He used his litter, came when I called him, and seemed like he wanted to live on my shoulder behind my hair 24/7. Best $5 I've ever spent. He was priceless. Thank you all for helping me remember someone who made my life so much better. Aw, that is so sweet. I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up now, even though it's not very late. It's only like 4:15, just about. Even though it's late, I gotta go. I would like to, um, I want to eat something and I want to take a shower, so I think I'm gonna go and say bye to you guys for now. I'll probably be back maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know if it'll be Tuesday, but probably Wednesday. Probably, I'm gonna try and be back by Wednesday, okay? Anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. Um, don't forget to be good to yourself and to others. And yeah, I can't remember the rest. But yeah, don't forget to be good to yourself and to others. Um, you are valid and you are valid. Um, you are valid anyway. Okay, I don't remember the last thing that I say for my outro. I'll figure it out. Anyway, love you guys. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna read one more. I lied. I want to read one more. Um, and this one also involves a pet rat. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that she should leave her pet rat at home now that my girlfriend has moved in? Originally posted r/ am I the asshole? And the original post was November 23rd, 2023. Oh, trigger warnings, manipulation, possible parental alienation, animal abuse, implied animal death. Oof. Okay, well, if you want to skip this one, feel free. It's the last video. It's the last story in the video, so if you skip it, there's gonna be nothing else. So you can just leave the video if you want to, if you don't want to hear this one. Edit about the title, Her Mother's Home. When I realized a word is missing, I couldn't edit it. I'm a 45-year-old male, and my girlfriend, who is also 45, of 2 years, and I have moved in together. Everything is great, and she gets along very well with my children, at least with my son. I share custody of my two children, male 16 and female 15, with my ex wife, female 40. There was one problem. My girlfriend has a phobia for mice, rats, squirrels, and in other words, rodents. This is something we all know and people laugh about it, but it is a serious issue for my girlfriend who can't even see a picture without starting to hyperventilate. My daughter got a rat as a present when she turned 15. She brought it home and my girlfriend freaked out and she apparently left the apartment without even noticing that she didn't have her shoes or coat on. I got upset with my daughter because she knows my girlfriend's fear. I told her that she should leave her pet at her mother's house from now on when she comes here. My daughter got upset and started yelling that my girlfriend is being ridiculous, and me too. Her rat wasn't the problem, so it shouldn't have to be kept at her mom's, and that my girlfriend should move out since she's the one who has the problem with the rat, not the rat with her. I told her that we are family and family makes compromises. Now she's saying if her rat isn't welcome, then neither is she, and she's planning to stay with her mom until her rat is allowed or my girlfriend moves out. My ex-wife called me to tell me that I'm the asshole for choosing my girlfriend. I told her that she was the asshole for getting my daughter this present. Am I the asshole? Well, first of all, you should always have a little friend for your rat, at least one friend. They're social, they need groups, but I'm sure you've heard that a million times before, and I definitely will say it a lot, and I'm going to continue to say it because it's actually super important to the rat's mental health. But anyway, your girlfriend has a phobia, then she should go to therapy and get over it so the rat can be allowed in your house. There's an easy fix to that. She can go to therapy, she can confront her fear, and she can resolve it. And doesn't matter if you doesn't matter. Your daughter is your daughter. And just because you married a woman doesn't make her family to this child. Like, she doesn't have to consider your wife family just because you consider your wife family. She doesn't have to consider your wife family. Like, that's your family, not her family. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure she's at that age where the court will listen to her about who she wants to live with. So, it won't matter if she doesn't want to bring her rat over to your place and if she doesn't want to go with. Anyway, so yeah, you're the asshole. And then info. Yeah, well, like many anticipated,
This whole rat thing was planned on purpose, and I have to say it makes sense since I never once had the impression that my daughter even liked rats. I was surprised at the birthday party. What? They did it on purpose? That's crazy. Okay. I was surprised at the birthday party. My girlfriend and I moved in together about 3 weeks ago, and the rat showed up about 10 days ago. I mean, I would love a rat for a present. Don't get me wrong. I would love rats for a present. I mean, as long as I knew it was going to happen and I had the cage set up and everything like that. Like what I did for when I got my snake basically was an early birthday present because I got him in May. But basically, what I did for my snake, I just was like, okay, I have everything set up. I pay the deposit on this little guy. Mom, can you pay for the actual snake, which was about $100 because Kenyan sand boas are super cheap where I live. Like, I mean, ball pythons are super cheap too, depending on the morph. You can literally go and get a ball python for like $50. Or, you can get one from the shelter for like a similar price. Like, I would they have ball pythons a lot at the shelter, so if I wanted a ball python, I would probably rather go to the shelter. They don't have Kenyan sand boas at the shelter. I checked a lot, and the shelters nearest to me don't have one. And I say nearest to me because it's still like an hour away. It's still quite a drive. Like I have a cat and dog and other furry animals shelter and all other kinds of animal shelter that's like super close to me here that I can drive to in like 15 minutes and take an Uber there and just go hang out with the cats or whatever. Like I did do that on Monday. I got to hang out with the cats on Monday because my support worker came. I didn't expect she was coming, so I ordered groceries because I thought I wasn't going to see her that week. But then she like showed up and she was here, and I was like, okay, let's just go to the shelter. And I ran a couple of other errands and stuff. So anyway, I know this now because I have tried to text my daughter about other suggestions, like a second rat or a dog, etc. She has made up her mind it is her or my girlfriend in the apartment. My son told me all of this. He said that my ex wife and my daughter have been bashing my girlfriend and calling her a homewrecker. Anyway, my daughter can live with her mother for the time being because, legally speaking, children here can decide which parent they want to live with at her age. The plot twist is that my son expressed desire to move in permanently with me instead, and I guess that it is because of all the drama. My son hates conflicts and confrontations. Of course, my ex wife is now bombarding my phone because she will be believing that I put my son up to this because my son said that he will start packing a bigger bag today if I agreed to him moving in permanently. He talked about visiting her instead of living there, and I agreed. This is escalating very fast, and I don't seem to have found the brakes to stop the madness. My suggestions made things worse. Thank you for listening. If any 40-plus-year-old divorced parents have any advice on how to resolve this issue, I am all ears. If it is relevant in any way, I didn't leave my ex, she left me. One day she sat me down without forewarning and told me she wasn't happy anymore and wanted a divorce. Everything went fast afterwards, and we were divorced 6 months later. It was never an affair or anything, but I think she liked someone, but it didn't work. After a few months, she said she regretted it and wanted to reconcile, but I didn't feel right about it. And one thing was her finality in her decision, but most importantly, I wasn't in love with her anymore. So she suggested us dating again. We were supposed to keep that a secret in case the spark didn't reignite, and we would have built up hope in our kids for nothing, but she probably told them anyway. I started dating my now girlfriend around the same time, and I fell in love with her. I ended things with my ex. The odd thing is that she cordially accepted my decision, but apparently she hasn't, and I'm reaping what we sowed now. God, it felt good to vent about it here. Thanks again. And again, any 40 plus divorced parents who would want to talk, hit me up. Absolutely not interested in input from 20-year-old with no experience of parenting. What if the 20-year-old had a kid at like 15? Am I the asshole has no consensus bot, but based on the comments, there was mixed reactions. Alright. And then the relevant comments. That's an intentional move from your ex and possibly your daughter too. You should consider getting your daughter something that your ex hates or fears at some point of time. OP says, well, we have been talking about getting a dog, my girlfriend and I, for a while now. Maybe it is time. My children can help pick one, but I will be clear that my daughter only can be a part of the process if she lived with us on my weeks like usual and left the damn rat with that wretched hag that started this headache. I think my daughter will agree. She has always wanted a dog, but her mother hates them. thank thank you everyone for your advice. I really appreciate you. And then another comment says, take your son
Accept that you will be estranged from your daughter until she wises up. Then try to fix your life by trying to move on and get on with it with your son. OP says, I am in a pickle right now. I don't want my son to be estranged from his mother, and definitely not from his sister. What will happen when they don't get to live together? It is a very difficult situation, but I can't make him. He wants to leave his mother's house. Okay. I'm gonna say I'm not so sure that this is an intentional thing from the daughter. Maybe her mom just gave her a rat and she was like, "Oh, a rat. Well, okay, fine. This is what's happening now." I don't know. She's 15. I mean, they are at that age when they can definitely, do intentional moves against you because if they're mad at you or they have some gripe with you, but they're still at that age where they're very much growing up and they might not be in tune to everything, and the mom might have just given her the rat and she just accepted it and she wanted to bring it to the house. And just because she's never talked about getting a rat in the past doesn't mean that she wouldn't be okay with the idea and she wouldn't be open to it, especially if her mom just surprised her with it at a birthday party. Like, I don't believe in surprising people with animals. It is a living thing, it is a responsibility. People don't seem to take that very seriously by surprising someone with an animal. When it's planned for, then absolutely, if you wanna go ahead and buy them the animal and be like, "Oh, here's the animal a few weeks earlier than you wanted to," or like Taylor Nicole Dean's mom, she's one of my big YouTubers that is a pet tuber that I watch. So anyway, her mom was just like she knew that her daughter loved snakes, but she always wanted her daughter not to get a snake while she lived in her house. But then one day her mother was like, "Okay, you can get a snake." And then so Taylor got a snake like that day within a couple of hours. Anyway, just making the point that animals should not be given as gifts to someone who's not expecting them or not prepared for them because they need to be able to properly care for the animal, and I would never believe in just surprising someone with an animal, especially one that they've never talked about or shown interest in. Regardless, the daughter I don't know what role the daughter played in this. This is definitely an intentional move from the mom though. But, my sister never talked about getting a bearded dragon, but she got a bearded dragon. My sister also was never interested in getting a cat, but she ended up getting a cat. So,
Anyway, update December 2nd, 2023. Well, people wanted an update, and here it is. My daughter is refusing to talk to me, and she has moved in with her mom and said that this is permanent. My son moved in here with me, and I can see that he really enjoys it here. I've been blocking my ex-wife's number for periods at a time because I have been receiving all kinds of threats and insults from her, saying I have manipulated my son against her. My son is a very quiet boy, and he's never given me any impression that he's been having a bad time at his mother's. I only noticed when he moved here and started talking and opening up about how miserable he's been. My daughter decided to free him, and she and her mother drove to the woods and just let it go.
not an expert on rats, but that's the story. Please don't release pet animals into the wild. First of all, they will probably die. Second of all, if they don't die, it's an invasive animal in the environment. So that was probably the stupidest thing they could have done. Like, I don't know how respond I mean, the post says my daughter decided to free him, but for all I know, the mom was like, "Okay, let's just let him go outside." I don't know. I don't blame the daughter for this, and I'm not sure if I should entirely.
So, anyway,
But, whatever. It probably just died in the wild, and that's the implied death of a pet, I guess. Regardless, do not let an animal go into the wild, please. Please do not put your pet into the wild as an invasive species. Like, rats are literally not allowed in Alberta because they became an invasive species. You can't have pet rats, and there can't be any actual rats in the country or in the province. People will literally are instructed to kill rats on site if they see them, which is super depressing, but like, that's how it works.
anyway, my girlfriend and I have decided to get a dog. Maybe that would change my daughter's mind about not visiting, although I must admit that life has been so much easier now when she isn't around, making everyone go on eggshells not to set her off. Both her and her mom refuse therapy. Over and out. Okay, so that's it, I guess. It's done.
And the very first comment with over 7,000 upvotes, R.I.P. the rat.
My thoughts exactly. The mother, and by extension, the daughter, got what she wanted from buying the rat, so she no longer wanted it in her life. They used a living creature to their own ends and then abandoned it to its death. I'm pissed now. Also, I can't help but notice they said rat as in singular, which is not good for our little rodent friends. They need a friend or two. Honestly, I don't think either of them actually cared about the rat's well-being, like, in the slightest. They just wanted an excuse to get the dad out of their lives and be like, I don't want to live here anymore, even though they just plain could have said that. Because, like Opie said in the post, the daughter is at that age where she can choose which parent she wants to live with. She didn't have to bring a rat into the equation, a living being, and make it suffer and then probably die in the wild just so it could. Sorry, as an animal lover and a rat lover, this is very frustrating to me. As a former rat owner, this is very frustrating to me. As just a human who has compassion, this is very frustrating to me. Like, I don't know. It's just I'm gonna go before I get any more infuriated, but this is so wrong, like, all around. I don't know. All I'm saying is she could have just said she didn't wanna live there anymore. She didn't have to involve a completely innocent animal in this and hurt it and kill it for everything to go the way it did. I mean, she didn't kill it, like, with her own hands, but just because she didn't use her own hands, whatever. If someone bullies a person to the point of suicide, that person still killed their victim. Like, they don't get all the guilt off them just because they didn't hold a gun to their head and shoot them. Like, that's not how it works. So yeah, they killed the rat. And the rat couldn't even fight back because it's a fucking rat. It couldn't even say anything. It couldn't even be like, "Hey, this is what I need." Like, it's a rat. It can't talk to you. It can't tell you that. It's your responsibility to take care of the animal properly and figure out what it needs. And I mean, I'm always doing my best to try and figure out what my snake needs. Like, I can tell when he's hungry. I can tell when he is tired. I'm getting better at recognizing his body language, telling what's going on, and trying to provide a comfortable home for him and a nice environment for him to live in. And I'm like still learning. I'm picking up on a lot of new stuff. And I've bought a lot of extra stuff for him over the last few months. Well, not extra stuff, but just stuff that I should have bought to begin with that no one told me about. But I bought a few things for him over these last few months to kind of improve his living situation and hopefully make things better and, gain some knowledge of my own because I have some stuff that had I changed out his substrate, for example, when it was clear that Aspen wasn't working and he was having bad sheds. I did that. His sheds are a lot better now. And, I spray the cage before he sheds when I notice that he's in blue. I do that too. Like, it's a learning process. When you have a pet, it's a learning process. It's not like you're going to know everything overnight. And, you gather knowledge from various sources and then you know how to take care of the animal better. Like, it's not just like you're going to know everything. You can't just get an animal and automatically know everything, although that would be fantastic. But, we have the internet now. It's an amazing resource. And so many people don't use it. They don't even bother doing the barest bit of research. And in this case, it was obvious that it wasn't even about giving the rat a good life or her wanting a pet rat. And just for the title, I wanted to say Opie was the asshole because why would you not want your girlfriend's pet around? And I thought two things. I thought first of all, the rat had been around longer than the girlfriend, which would not make a lot of sense because rats live like I don't know, 2 to 3 years max. Some people claim they've had rats that live longer, but I'm not 100% sure how that goes, if that's true. But regardless, I thought, like, the rat being there longer than the girlfriend would have been weird. I was thinking maybe OP got the rat while they were dating, and the dad didn't have a problem with it, and now he suddenly has a problem with it because the girlfriend is moving in and she has this phobia, and eh, I also thought that, like, it was a pet that OP had always wanted and she finally got it or something, and then, the dad wants to move his new girlfriend in, and suddenly the rat is a problem, even though she really wanted this rat and she finally got it, like, nah. Yeah, but, like, I like that one of the comments was exactly what I've been saying, you need more than one rat, but the comments and the story make it pretty clear that OP and her mother did not give a damn about
this rat's well-being or making it a comfortable home. I wouldn't be surprised if they were keeping it in some tiny plastic bin or like a glass tank, which rats should not be in because it's so bad for circulation and the ammonia will just build up. And anyway, look on Google for more rat knowledge because I could go on for a while. Like, just from my time owning rats, I know a lot about them, and I have a lot of complaints with this story. I don't have enough information to, make all of what I'm saying valid. Like, I don't know exactly how the rat was kept. I do know they needed at least two rats, and they did not do that. I also do. I also know you should not let wild animals go pet animals go in the wild, which is something they also did not abide. Anyway, I'm gonna go before because I'm getting really worked up over here, and this is frustrating, and I shouldn't be frustrating. Anyway, my mom's dinner was canceled, so she's staying at work for a bit, and I'm gonna go. Like, I gotta use the bathroom, and I'm gonna take a shower and stuff, and then I will be back with you guys in a few days. I'm gonna try and upload another video on Tuesday or Wednesday. I already said that before. Anyway, love you guys.